Now, can we talk about Bumble and their latest advertisement? They're literally shaming women into dating men. And remember, this is what I mean by projection is wild. For the longest, it's been men, primarily cis males, who have made up the assumption that women are going to die alone, old, with cats all over, and hairball, and litter boxes. They're going to be by themselves, old and nasty looking. Nobody's ever going to like them or want them because they don't want to be with a man. Or they're not interested at the time in being with a man or being in a committed monogamous relationship with a man. Only for the truth to unveil itself, and really it's the cis male that's dealing with the loneliness epidemic at a significant higher rate than everybody else. Notice I said the loneliness epidemic because it's not just cisgendered men, cis males who are dealing with it. It's just that when you look at their demographic, they're disproportionately the highest percentage of people that are dealing with the loneliness. Mind you, there are cis women who are lonely in the lonely pandemic. There are intersex and trans people that are lonely in the loneliness pandemic. But when you look at it from a statistical standpoint, it's a particular demographic that has the highest percentage. That's all I'm saying. And also, they are the ones that are complaining about being lonely and literally trying to, instead of recognizing like this is a global problem impacting everybody, and then also looking at how your own behaviors are probably also a part of why you're lonely, but never mind all of that. Now we've got Bumble literally with freaking billboards advertising women like, don't become a nun, put out today, essentially. And it's like, you have to make advertisements to beg women to want to date men now. Like, that's how bad it is for the cishet community or the heterosexual community. Like, holy shit. And again, like I've been saying, sooner or later, cis males are going to have to look in the mirror and realize there's a reason why people are opting to be single and or investing more into their platonic relationships than romantic partnerships with you. Because collectively, like I've been saying, is it all cis males? No. But if we're looking at it from a percentage standpoint, there's a large portion of cis males who are assholes, selfish, inconsiderate, don't know how to communicate, refuse to be in touch with their own emotions and feelings so they can communicate how they truly feel, still refusing to do the work to heal from their past childhood traumas and past experiences, still not really developing their character, still being in their 30s and 40s but having a 15, 16-year-old mindset, still not reciprocating effort and energy, still being deadbeats and thinking that it's cool to impregnate a bunch of women and people that you have no intention of actually being in a relationship with, let alone taking care of those kids. Still physically assaulting and abusing and, quite frankly, deleting their partners, aka their partners, okay? So when you look at all the risk factors, I see why women are like, I'm okay. And why other men who deal with men are like, I'm okay. Because again, you really can do bad all by yourself. You don't need extra assistance to do that. But it's just wild that, again, the projection that has been going on for decades. So you're going to be by yourself alone. And you're the one that's alone. I guess your homeboys and the getting lit could only go so far because, like, seriously, I know so many Gen X men who are in their late 40s, early 50s, alone. No children, no wife, no husband, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, no partner, no shit, not even a sneaky link. And then some of their friends are no longer able to do the same friend shit because some of their other cis males are actually fathers and husbands and boyfriends and, working on their own hobbies or doing their own self-growth work, so they don't really have time to hang out with the other cis males who never really failure to launch. That's really what it reminds me of with some of the cis males, is there's a lot of failure to launch. There's a lot of men who never progressed, and they stayed in that mindset, in that framework, stayed stuck in the trauma. And a lot of it, whether we're talking shit or not, really is rooted in trauma and then also toxic masculinity and how cis men are socialized. But a lot of this is trauma. Like, you'd be surprised if we would actually address other things outside of just bashing or trying to make fun of them. But like, seriously, they're going through a lot. They've been through a lot, but we're socializing men not to talk about their feelings and emotions and calling them weak and sassy for doing so. And also, I just want to highlight women, cis women, yes, you too, honey. Trans women, yes, you too. Intersex women, yes, you too. But seriously, cis women in particular, again, cis women in particular, you perpetuate a lot of toxic masculinity. I mean, literally, the whole sassy man apocalypse. Like, yeah, there are definitely some more, ooh, you're annoying as fuck type men out here, but I kind of feel like most of them kind of are, but whatever. But that's not my point. You're calling them sassy when they're opening up and communicating about how they're feeling and their needs and their wants and their emotions, and then at the same time, you're complaining that they don't talk to you and they don't communicate. Well, they're not really going to be that prone to trying to break the cycle of toxicity if they feel like they're going to be made fun of for doing so. Which, granted, if you're really, in my opinion, if you're a man and you're comfortable with yourself, it really shouldn't fucking matter. You're a grown man, so if you want to be sassy or not, do you. But you get the point. Peer pressure, society norms really is janky. But yeah, it's like they're trying to guilt trip women into feeling bad on Bumble. And also they're trying to guilt trip women for having standards and boundaries. They're trying to guilt trip feminine men and intersex and trans women and trans men. They're trying to guilt trip anybody that has made cis males like their primary attraction, because again, in patriarchy, we're constantly centering cis men, like cis males, intersex men, trans men. Now, granted, intersex trans men are men. We are men, born intersex here, identify as an intersex trans man, and at the same time, we don't have the same privileges as cis males. But I would be lying to say that we do not receive privilege from being trans men or trans masculine or intersex men. We do receive a form of privilege. It is typically a lot. I'm not going to say a lot, but the point is we don't go through the same struggles all the time. And we do get privileges, but we don't get the same on the same level as cis males. And I'll explain that in another video, because I do want to add content and context to what I'm talking about and not just be sitting up here spewing only my opinion and not looking at giving you examples and information to back up where I'm getting this information from and why I framed my worldview and opinion from, right? Because that's another problem to me in society. Like, we all have opinions, but like nobody actually has anything to back up their opinion a lot of times when you talk to them and you ask them, well, what are your sources? Or how did you come up with this opinion or viewpoint? They can't really tell you. And I want to demonstrate I can tell you, right? You don't have to agree, just like I don't have to agree. But damn, at least let's try to educate each other in the process. I mean, shit. Anyways, the point is, you really trying to guilt trip women. I'm here to tell you, I say your standards are your standards. Your preferences are your preferences. I don't have to agree with them. And they can definitely be rooted in ignorance, and bigotry, closed-mindedness, and stupidity. And then also some people's standards are just not realistic. Like they themselves don't even meet their standards. And at the same time, you can have them. And I'm not going to tell anybody to lower their standards, especially with a certain demographic, because, honey, you're basically just going to be told to accept any and everything that comes from them, yet they be willing to leave you high and dry in a minute, the minute something doesn't go right for them or they start not liking you. So you kind of need to have the same approach dealing with them, in my opinion. But anyways, I thought it was going to be the women that were going to be lonely with 20 cats running around, rolling around in catnip and tuna. No, it's actually the cis male population. Wow. What a change of events.